Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, what? Ladies and gentlemen, what? Have you seen a girl so far? Have you seen a girl so far? Have you seen a girl so far? So far.
Hello, my darlings. Welcome back to Front Row with Audrey Charlyes Confidential Edition. This is episode 7, When Passion Meets the Muse. I'm your hostess in heels and your guide through the wonderful, ridiculous world of fashion. And tonight, we are straddling two red carpets, one made of marble and the other one of glitter. First up, Art Basel Paris, where people whisper the word culture as if it's a bank password. The second one, Vogue World Hollywood, where everyone smiled like they were auditioning for the sequel to their own Instagram story. Both promise beauty. Both deliver something. One felt like a slow sip of vintage champagne, the other like sparkling water that forgot the bubbles. But both reminding me of one thing. Fashion doesn't just meet art, it seduces it, borrows its makeup, and sometimes steals its lighting crew. So, buckle up, my darlings. Let's unpack that, shall we? Art Basel Paris. The Grand Palais. That sacred dome where Paris once again reminded the world that she doesn't follow trends, she invents history. Inside, the air smells of oil paint, ambition, and likely panic collectors pretending to understand abstract art. People were murmuring things like, "The texture speaks to me." No, darling, it doesn't. It's your accountant whispering about your overdraft. But my goodness, what a show. Galleries glimmer like jewelry boxes. Picasso flirted with Giacometti. Modigliani winked at Richer, and somewhere a newcomer sold out before lunch. You could almost hear the sound of legacy being monetized. And fashion was not just there, it was woven in. The front rows were a catwalk of curation. Miu Miu next to Dior, Hermes scarves casually behaving like fine art. Paris doesn't do chaos. Paris edits. Even the walls look so composed. You could lean on one and it will whisper a market analysis in perfect French. My personal highlight, watching people walk around pretending not to look at prices while absolutely looking at prices. The collectors were practically speed dating the paintings like, "I love you, you know, I will wire you tomorrow." And beyond the commerce, there was some sort of choreography. The way people move, you could tell who belong by how slowly they turn their heads. I know that's kind of shady. Old money glides, new money scrolls. The museum lighting became a runway for self-assurance. Because Art Basel Paris, you're not just buying art, you're buying some kind of posture. And I know, you know what? I love it. The seriousness, not the stiff kind, but that quiet reverence where everyone knows that they are witnessing beauty being assigned value. In Basel, art isn't about taste. It is the taste. So yes, Art Basel Paris, très good. It's like the city said, let's give culture a facelift and a flawless blow dry. Only Paris could make an art fair feel like an haute couture fitting and still send you home slightly intimidated, wonderfully inspired, and financially terrified. And then, my darlings, all of a sudden, we changed scenery. We flew across the Atlantic, where the marbles turns into mirrors and suddenly dies in a poof of body glitter. Leaving Paris felt like leaving a museum of elegance for a movie set where the extra forgot that they were extras. Welcome to Vogue World Hollywood 2025. Now, let me start by saying this. I adore a good spectacle. I can forgive chaos if it's fabulous. But this, it felt like someone started a blockbuster and accidentally pressed skip to credits. Vogue, you promised us fashion meets cinema. I expected an epic, sweeping gowns, narrative arcs, maybe something like Nicole Kidman floating down Sunset Boulevard on a cloud of couture. Instead, we got quick cuts, loud lights, and the emotional depth of a perfume ad that forgot its name. It kind of began beautifully. Sparkles, music, the promise of glamour, and then, poof! Gone. I've had hair treatment that lasted longer. The pacing was all over. One moment, you are clapping for a breathtaking vintage moment. The next, you are asking, wait, is that the finale or an intermission? Nobody announced. Look, I know I'm being shady. I get it. It's Hollywood. I know I'm gonna be cancelled. I don't even know why. It's meant to be dramatic, but darling, drama requires editing, and editing requires a vision. You can just throw sequence at a story and call it cinema. At one point, I swear, I heard the audience collectively wonder, did we miss something? Or was that the point? Here is the tea. It wasn't that bad. It was just unfinished. Vogue World Paris last year felt like an art house film. Moody, poetic, expensive. Vogue World Hollywood felt like the sequel that went straight to streaming, no grand premiere needed. And yet, bless their hearts, it was for a good cause. Raising funds for costume designers affected by the wildfires. Noble, yes. But, as I said in my notes that night, they raise money. I just wish they raised the curtain too. Hollywood promised a movie and gave us a montage. Paris gave us an art flair and delivered a masterclass. Both entertaining, one profoundly curated, the other profoundly sponsor. I know I'm being shady, I know. And somewhere between the two, I thought, maybe fashion itself has become the muse. Constantly reinterpreted, sometimes misunderstood, but always camera ready. We don't follow the story anymore. We scroll through it. Glamour has gone digital. And attention is the new couture. Still, my love, I'll give Hollywood this. They know how to make you look twice. Even when you are confused, you are still entertained. It's the fashion equivalent of dating an actor. Unpredictable, charming, and occasionally wearing too much foundation. That lead me to wonder about the business of spectacle. So, here is the thought that stay with me. What are we really buying when we buy into these worlds? Art Basel sells emotion. It sells belonging. You don't just acquire a painting, you acquire proof that your soul has a price range. Vogue World sells visibility. A moment in the algorithm where everyone gasps, scrolls, and then forgets. Basel feeds the intellect. Hollywood feeds the ego. And somewhere between those two appetites, luxury is learning how to survive. We live in an era where everything is a performance. Even reflection comes with a ring light. The new collectors aren't buying art anymore. They're just buying attention. They don't frame it no more. They post it. And yet, Despite the filters and the fanfare, beauty still wins. It always does. Whether it's a canvas or a couture gown, it's the same currency, emotion. The only question is, who is cashing in? Because the Muse, my loves, has changed shape. She's not standing on a pedestal anymore. She's holding a phone, curating her own myth. She's part patron, part influencer, and all about performance. In Paris, for example, she paints. In Hollywood, she posts. But in both, she sells. So, as I left my mental Grand Palais and switched off my virtual red carpet, I thought, in Paris, taste is inherited. In Hollywood, taste is higher by the hour. But maybe, just maybe, the future Muse is neither. She's the one who creates because she can help it, who dresses for the thrill of expression, not the applause. And that, my loves, is the art of the show and the show of the art. Thank you for sitting front row with me tonight. Until next time, keep your eyes sharp, your heels higher, and your sarcasm perfectly tailored. See ya!
Ladies and gentlemen, what? Have you seen a girl so fine? Have you seen a girl so fine? Have you seen a girl so fine? So fine, so fine, so she fine gone. I nigga she fine gone. She fine gone. When I say she fine gone.